here's a true story, and there's a lesson to be learned out of this story. Young, shiny-faced is what we always called the newbies on the department. Midnight shift. It's about 1 a.m. and riding partners in the squad car. Brand new one, 2 weeks on the force. Female. They get a call to assist local department with a 1050 J3 injuries, center median, and we had it out. First car on the scene. You see a little sports car, two-seater sports car, and we get out and try to evaluate, and there's 3 people in the car. A female driver, she's passed out, head into the steering wheel. Male passenger, face resting on the dash, seatbelt on. Female driver, seatbelt on. Elderly gentleman in the back compartment area, scrunched up. He's unconscious, and visibly we see he has 8 to 10 inch gash in his leg, his shin, and it's pretty deep and it's pretty bad. The seasoned officer takes the driver and is trying to take her pulse, tells me to go check the front passenger. I can't get a pulse, and I move him back. No pulse, no blood. Then the ambulance is arriving, and I help them get my subject out of the vehicle and onto the pavement so that they could work on him, and they got the IV started. They have me standing over him, and he had the seatbelt on, and when they hit the center median, it's like a turning lane, and then you had a 3-foot section where the concrete culvert median came back up, and they hit that head on. So his head smashed into the dash, and it smashed his nose up. No blood. The seatbelt across his waist had basically cut him in half. All his intestines shot out from between his legs. There was like no blood. So I'm standing over this guy, helping the paramedics work on him. And so my partner's working on the driver. Apparently she was drunk. She had a cut on her head, nothing major. Cut on her nose, nothing major. So yeah, the guy that I'm standing over working on, yeah, there was no bringing him back. He was dead on impact. So we get relieved from the scene. And get back in the squad car, and he starts it up. We put our seatbelts on. He looks at me and he says, so what do you want to do now? And I looked at him and I said, I'm starving, can we go eat? Oh my God. So yeah, he was like so floored that was my first experience, and I was like, I'm just starving, I'm gonna go eat after, all the gore and guts and everything. So what are you gonna do in a situation you have no control over? Are you gonna be one to take charge? Are you gonna freeze? Are you gonna lose control? Are you not gonna know what to do? Are you gonna remain calm and handle what needs to be handled and follow instructions and directions? It's important. say, the following week I got called into the chief's office. They had to talk to me. Thought I was in trouble and I didn't know what I did. And they wanted to give me a verbal commendation for my behavior on the call, for being so stand up, and that they wanted to know how on earth I could go eat after handling the J4 with blood and that and the dead person and intestines. And I was like, no, that situation was done. I was hungry. So, yeah, what are you going to do? There's leaders, there's followers, and then there's those who just totally shut down. You have a fright or fight, or flight or fight. And your body, you can't always control what it's going to do unless you condition yourself for those emergencies. So that's something to think about in an emergency. Are you conditioned enough that you're going to be one who stands up and takes charge and tells everyone what to do? Another situation, I was working private security at an exclusive shopping center, and I got a phone call that one of the employees in the mall needed help. Cut his finger off. So I get down there and I'm thinking, yeah, probably just, nicked his finger or whatever. And I get down there and no, he cut the whole tip of his finger off. Meat slicer. And I looked at it, and back then HIV was just coming forefront in the news. So I got a bandage pad and handed it to him, and I said, now you hold this on your finger and you put direct pressure on that and you squeeze it and don't let go. And then I grabbed him, if I can show you, I grabbed him by his arm here, which is a pressure point, and I put pressure there, and with the other hand I held his arm up. So I walked him just like that, with one hand here and my other hand holding his arm up while he's applying pressure, and never had to touch any of his blood. And walked him up 2 flights of stairs to the main entryway doors to wait for the ambulance. Got his bleeding to stop, and then as soon as the ambulance got there, I threw his arm down, and then blood proceeded to start squirting again. But I was relieved from the scene, so that was on the EMTs and the paramedics. So a couple weeks later, the guy comes back and he called security and he was asking for me. He wanted to come and wanted to talk to me. And so I went up and I met him, and he said he just wanted to thank me. He said, you were so calm and cool. I'm ready to pass out, and you're keeping my wits together about me, and I didn't even realize you had me walking up all those stairs into the front door. You got my bleeding to stop and everything. He goes, that was really nice, thank you. So, I mean, what are you going to do if, someone's got an arm cut off, or a hand cut off, or a foot's cut off, or they're bleeding profusely, or their eye, they have an eye injury, and something, a stick or something sticking out of their eye. Are you going to know what to do? Are you going to be able to do anything? Are you going to freak out, get sick, throw up, be weak? You have to practice, and even in practicing, you won't know how you're going to respond until you're actually put in that situation. But the more you practice for that situation, the better you are. It'll click in like second nature. Repetitiveness in doing things. You repeat it over and over and over and over. Alright, there's my little clip for the night. Flight or fight. What would you do? What could you do? What will you do? Do you have what it takes? Will you be able to survive? Will you help others survive?